Get ready for another photo dump of Conor McGregor in suits because he's off to court again. This one was for an alleged attack back in 2023. However, at the time, it was reported to the police, but the Florida State Attorney's Office declined to pursue criminal charges. So now this new female accuser is taking him to a civil court for a payout situation similar to the last trial Conor McGregor had. Now, his last court case was very complicated, right? He had witnesses who were corroborating his story. He had CCTV, which contradicted her story. However, she had his DNA. She had doctors and paramedics, verifying her injuries. And it was hugely damaging to his career, his brand. You've seen him losing sponsorship deals. You've seen many big companies refusing to further stock his alcohol brands. I mean, it was just a disaster for him. And this is footage of him on the actual day of the alleged incident. He was there for the NBA Finals in Florida, and apparently this took place at a club within the arena after the game. Now, apparently the woman in question is 49 years old, and that was a surprise to me immediately. She's a vice president of a Wall Street company at a high-profile financial institution. The lawsuit only names the woman in question as Jane Doe. She is going to keep her identity secret, it appears, and it says that Conor McGregor went to the courtside club after the game, and he was talking to Jane Doe there and drinking a bottle of proper 12 whiskey. According to the lawsuit, when Jane Doe and her friend began leaving the arena, a friend or member of Conor McGregor's security team said, "Conor told me to come and get you," and grabbed her wrist and led them to the exit of the courtside club. Now, McGregor's security would apparently stop at the entrance of the men's bathroom. Jane Doe requested of him to let go of her wrist, and he said, "No, Conor will kill me if I lose you." Anyway, it's just a strange thing to hear that, isn't it? McGregor apparently exited the bathroom and grabbed Jane Doe's hand or wrist and led her into the men's restroom with her acquaintance to follow. Apparently, McGregor led Jane Doe to a stall, and the staff of the centre wouldn't let her acquaintance enter the stall as well. The music was loud and it was hard to communicate, apparently, at that time. So it says here that Jane Doe was in the bathroom with Conor McGregor, as in the stall, the toilet itself, with Conor McGregor. And she was using the bathroom. Now, the first thing that comes to point is you're not just using the bathroom, right? You're willingly taking your pants down with your privates exposed in front of a man who you met 5 seconds ago. That is consensual. That all is happening of her own accord, okay? Now, again, we can never say anyone in any scenario is asking for anything. Nothing proves consent just by the fact that she's doing that, but she's willingly showing off parts of her body. And, I've only ever been in a men's toilet with a woman once in my life. I was very young, and things went down. It's a strange scenario for a 49-year-old woman to get herself into with a man she's only just met. I think that's something we can all agree on. And to be fair, going into a men's stall with a man you've only just met at 49 years old, not many women would do that. I think that's something we also have to acknowledge here. That's not a normal thing. We all know McGregor's not normal. Fuck me. But this isn't normal from her either. Now, McGregor was apparently under the influence of intoxicants and out of control. He attempted to forcefully, according to her, place his unprotected penis into Jane Doe's mouth without her consent, the lawyer adds. Jane Doe pulled her pants up and stood up and attempted to exit the stall. McGregor allegedly then slammed Jane Doe against the wall, face first, and put Jane Doe in an arm lock and attempted to forcefully place his unprotected penis into Jane Doe's anus without her consent. I mean, that is just, as with all of these stories, you just don't know what to fucking say. It's just mental, just to listen to, right? But again, the fact that she's gone in there with her pants down in front of a man she's only just met is a strange start to this story. And that's something that I just don't think it paints her in the most believable light. Does that mean that it's impossible she's telling the truth? No, it's not impossible, but the start of this story is bizarre. After that, it says that Jane Doe returned to the courtside club as she was waiting on her acquaintance to leave the venue. Now, apparently this is footage from the actual night taken where Conor McGregor takes the girl into the bathroom. So there's McGregor, as seen on TMZ, as per usual, and apparently this is the alleged victim with her face blurred out. And as you can see, he looks like he's holding her hand or her wrist and taking her through She's not a small woman. No disrespect. I'm just an observation, you know. But again, like 49-year-old on the larger side. McGregor's a strange guy. I could kind of understand him, you know, being unfaithful in the way he has been in the past with a bunch of fucking supermodels, but that's not the case with this guy. It's anyone and everyone by the looks of it. And look, for her legal team, they can use that footage, I guess, and say, look, some of what we've said is true. We can prove that he led her by the hand into the toilets. That's something that we can prove. But like in the last case, there was a lot more than that to give you to think about. So, you know, if that's all they've got, I would be surprised if this goes anywhere. And McGregor's lawyers seem very confident it isn't going to go anywhere, because they've said after a thorough investigation at the time, the state attorney concluded that there was no case to pursue. Almost 2 years and at least 3 lawyers later, the plaintiff has a new false story. We are confident that this case too will be dismissed. And that's what makes this interesting, is she's still able to keep her anonymity despite the fact that the original accusations didn't go anywhere with the police. And yet she can still just continue pursuing this guy without having to reveal her identity, which could massively impact his identity and yet be completely untrue. That's something with the legal system where you go, is that fair? I don't know, man. It's pretty fucked up. But I mean, they're claiming the reason is to avoid embarrassment and shame from the conduct discussed in the complaint, as well as to protect her privacy in her career. So you get to protect your privacy from what you were complicit in, you know? Clearly that's to do with her willingly going into the toilet with this man and pulling her pants down. And her lawyer has said that the civil suit is her client's only remaining avenue for justice. Dunn noted that the client aims to raise awareness about sexual assault and is concerned about the lawsuit's potential impact on her career. Nonetheless, her main goal is filing the suit to raise awareness and continue to encourage others to report sexual assault. I don't like the sound of that. You're trying to be a hero. You're trying to act like you're doing this for everyone else and not for yourself. With the lack of evidence and then the posturing as if you're, some sort of hero for people. Like if you just say, I just want justice, or I deserve this payout for the damages, yada, yada, yada. But it's the fact that they're being quite political in the way that they're framing it. It feels disingenuous, especially when she willingly went into that toilet the way she did, and the massive lack of evidence here. At least there's no evidence that I can see in looking into this case at all so far. And now, a word from our sponsors. Everyone online needs a VPN, not only to be safe and secure, but also to get access to some sweet, sweet content. And that is where Surfshark comes in, because a VPN is basically like wearing a pair of trousers outside. All the stuff that you want to keep private stays private. And Surfshark helps keep your whole online activity encrypted so you can browse privately, and you can block ads and travel the world in one click. And say, for example, you're in the UK, you want to watch the 3 p.m. football on a Saturday, but you can't in the UK. But in Spain and America and other countries like that, you can. And that doesn't just apply to sport. You can change your Netflix location to get better Netflix, or watch things like Hulu and other content from America. And another big help is when you're out and about, if you want to do online banking and you're on a public network, anyone can snoop and have a look at what you're up to. But when you use Surfshark, you can mask your IP so all your traffic is encrypted, which means your personal info stays personal to you. I use Surfshark for all my devices and only on one subscription. You can log into as many as you want, and they have 24/7 support if you need any help. And if you want to get Surfshark, you can click the link in the description or use the QR code on the screen now. And you can get 4 months extra of Surfshark for an unbeatable price. And the best bit is they give you a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk in trying it out. Just click the link in the description below now. Go to surfshark.com/Geordie for 4 months extra of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. So big thanks to Surfshark for the security and that sweet content, but for now, enjoy the video. And speaking of evidence, the evidence from the previous trial that Conor McGregor lost, the CCTV footage, which he felt really vindicated him, showing that she was giving him a lot of attention and all over him before the alleged attack took place. And then after the alleged attack, she was apparently all over his mate as well before they then had sex. And he felt like that really vindicated his story. Well, she is apparently serving an injunction to prevent the release of that CCTV footage. I mean, wow. Again, it really left questions in my mind from the first time, that first trial. Why would she be doing that in the event of such a brutal and horrific situation, later just being all over his mate in the way she was? It doesn't add up. And she's obviously being heralded as a hero. So to then have that come out and potentially really make it look like she's talking shit would be damning for her, and it would undo a lot of the good publicity she's been given. You know, if you're trying to suppress evidence, it's never a good look. It's never something that can go, well, then you must be innocent. This alone already adds more weight to the argument for McGregor's side, in my opinion, and I'm being completely unbiased and impartial here. I'm not saying that this proves he's innocent, but again, it certainly doesn't make her look like she's telling the full truth when she's trying to hide evidence from the public. I think whatever you believe about that case, the fact that she's doing that will leave doubt in people's minds in one way or another. In terms of the career of Conor McGregor, apparently Dana White has come out and said that he will be returning to the UFC in the fall, autumn for us UK people, later this year, which is really strange to me because I was expecting some sort of retirement at this point. It's been years since he fought, and it feels like at the beginning of every single year, the UFC announced Conor McGregor will be back, and then we get another year, and they come out and say the same thing, and then another year, and the same thing. I think I've heard this 3 years in a row now. I take that with a pinch of salt. I'm not sure we'll ever see Conor McGregor back inside a UFC octagon. Maybe in a boxing ring. We'll see. But yeah, let me know what you thought of it, because I try and take a common sense approach with this sort of shit, but it's pretty hard. You know, you're looking at accusations. You don't really get McGregor's side of the story. It's a bizarre situation, man. But let us know what you thought. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the True Geordie YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one.